For our children, this opportunity is something that they would normally never have. Up until, 4 years ago, children here would play the guitar, the ukulele, but if you talk about strings, that's very unusual.
I didn't listen to classical music.
I wasn't really interested in classical music, but I was interested in instruments.
So they've been exposed to some teaching, some musical background, a discipline, and develop themselves in an area and probably an avenue that they would never have normally had.
It's a fantastic opportunity for us as teachers as well, where we feel we've learnt so much, the three of us, over the last 4 years. We're constantly developing our repertoire. For instance, the Irish tune you heard today was a new one that Robbie found this year, wasn't it? And the kids love it.
Yeah.
And we get them putting the movements and all that sort of thing like that, and it just opens up different ways of them expressing themselves, really.
It's an ideal tune to do solos. So there's some children that really want to be up the front and play a solo or play a fast bit, and it's a good tune for that.
It's just once you get used to it, you know the right tunes.
If you're playing a melody, you have to remember where to put your fingers and stuff.
They have to read music as well, and they don't seem to find that a struggle, most of them. Like, okay, you might not get one piece 100% read correctly, but by the second, third, fourth, they're picking it up. You know, they're smart. The kids are smart.
We would like to pilot a program at Year 4, which is younger children still. Now, this might make you sort of, but I believe we can do it.
One of my favourite pieces, I like Vivaldi Four Seasons, and that kind of inspires me to practice and stuff.
Oh, cellos. Forgot about the cellos. Sorry, Robbie dear.
One of the things that we said was it was really important for us to have a buy-in from families. So the families had to support the child, it's not just the child doing it.
Certainly, a lot of the backgrounds of the kids make it harder to have a regular kind of discipline that requires regular work every day, and just because they could be in many different households or a few different households during the week, it's actually more difficult for them to have a real regular. And that's one of the things we deal with and one of the things we work around.
When you keep on practicing, it becomes very easy.
Yeah, and sometimes when I practice, my parents, they come and watch me, and that's the part when I do a mistake, they start laughing, and that's I get a little shy.
Some of the songs are sort of hard, but I keep on practicing and then I get better.
We've had some children who we've thought, I don't think this is going to work, but we've persevered because we thought the potential was there. And we've got one family in particular who Lynn and the team are still supporting at intermediate school, because he is actually, probably this is one of the best parts of his life, is actually being involved with the orchestra. The rest of it's probably not so positive, but the orchestra is probably the part that's keeping him on the straight and narrow.
His energy and enthusiasm for playing the music was totally amazing. And he would be, when we'd all finished and it would be time to go to lunch or playtime, he'd hang around a bit longer and practice the bit that we'd learned. He wasn't waiting for it to all finish. He was hanging around and he'd say, "I got that bit, miss."
1, 2, 3, A, 3, A3, 2, oh, that's tricky.
But for me, what's come out of 4 years is not only the children playing, I think our parents who love their kids dearly and want the best for them make the commitment to not only make sure they practice, but they turn up, they do all the things, they drive these children to places whenever we ask. They support 100% our parents, and now our children not only will go to, with their families, to the APO free concerts on a Sunday, something that 5 years ago none of these families would have done.
Some music that we listen to, they're not necessarily classical, but you can hear violin and string instruments
Modern
in
music.
that. Yeah, latest kind of pop.
When you hear it, you mostly hear just the person singing and some drums or a beat. But if you listen closely, there's some violins or.
We went to the Lewis Eady competition in King's Prep for the first year, and our whole orchestra went in there surrounded by these beautiful school buildings and facilities, hundreds of children, and they went out onto the stage for the first time with their performance gear on, and they won a gold medal. And I think that was probably, as a group of children, seeing that was just absolutely astounding.
To follow on from Graham, I'd sort of warn the children that you'll meet kids with, you know, real gear, but if they haven't practiced, you can waste them.
At Telstra Clear last year, when we actually got invited to do a joint concert, the APO had an open day and we were invited to participate in the open day.
We played Orpheus in the Underworld, like the Can-Can, and it was really fun and it was really exciting and kind of inspiring.
All the APO, they're all sitting there going, whoa, you know, then all the violas came out. There's more violas than there was in the APO. They're going, oh. Then we dragged all the violins out, and then we did the Can-Can.
Just going into that building, most of them had never been in these buildings. So for them actually even physically travelling into town, going into the town hall or into the other performing halls, they would never normally do that.
Our children have had their eyes and their parents open to a totally new environment that otherwise they'd never ever get the opportunity to do.